Most people have fast reflexes, while others aren't so lucky to be blessed with such.
Stop.
Stop. I'm
Stop.
on public
Stop.
property.
Put your hand behind your back. Stop.
I'm on public.
Today, we've got a list of cops with great reflexes and how they reacted just seconds before chaos erupts.
Why have you done? Stop! Stop!
This incident occurred in July 15, 2022, in Bryan, Georgia. Officers responded to a call about a suspect almost driving in the wrong lane and threatening to hit oncoming traffic. The officers and some civilians attempted to talk to the suspect, a 24-year-old woman named Sierra Hibbert, resisted all forms of communication with the officers and began ramming into them. She sped off, and the officers were forced to pursue her.
Now you just had a wreck. Look out! Look out! Break glass! Break glass! Break glass! Get out the car! Get out! Get out! Tires are flat! Move! Come on!
The body cam video of a police officer shows as a woman in a large vehicle decides to ram the people standing around her vehicle. The officers around yell as they see what happens, and the suspect, 24-year-old Sierra Hibbert, attempts to flee the scene. They instruct Hibbert to get out of the car, but she ignores them and keeps moving. Some individuals are forced to jump on vehicles to avoid getting hit. The officers rush into their vehicles and begin pursuing the suspect.
Now you just had a wreck. Look out! Look out! Break glass! Break glass! Break glass! Get out the car! Get out! Get out! Tires are flat!
Hibbert doesn't go far before being surrounded by patrol vehicles. Some officers step out of their vehicles to apprehend the suspect, but she rams into their vehicles. Her tires screech as she struggles to move. An officer attempts to get into her vehicle by punching the glass several times, but it doesn't work. The suspect drives away, but her car is damaged, and the officers are sure she won't make it far.
Move! Come on!
The officers return to their car and continue pursuing the suspect. Her vehicle appears to be failing her slowly, and she stops moving shortly after crossing a red light. The officers surround the vehicle yet again and attempt to open the door. An officer slams on a window multiple times and is finally able to get through. More officers arrive to assist him as he opens the door to pull the suspect out.
Stay here? Yeah. She's not gonna make it far.
They attempt to pull her out of her vehicle, and she says she didn't do anything wrong. They remind her that she attempted to take the lives of multiple people by ramming into them not too long ago. She denies their allegations and continues resisting arrest. Hibbert begins screaming as she asks the officers to stop. They successfully pull her out of the vehicle and put her in handcuffs.
Go!
Another woman arrives on the scene and rushes to Hibbert's vehicle. Some men take a child out of the back seat. The woman gets furious and slams the door. She accuses Hibbert of almost putting an end to the child's life because of her recklessness. Hibbert claims not to know what she did to make the officers accuse her of such crimes. They choose to ignore her and take her to a patrol vehicle. Luckily, no officers or citizens were injured seriously by the incident. Hibbert was in custody as a statement, saying she would face criminal charges, was released.
And asking me if I'm on drugs, that's harassment.
Did you have drugs in the vehicle?
She's asking me if I'm on drugs.
Typical procedural question.
Oh, really?
Correct.
She didn't ask me if I had drugs in the vehicle. She asked me if I was on drugs.
Okay.
That's stereotyping, and that's pulling me over to stereotyping. That's pulling me over to checking me, and then you had my vehicle towed away.
This incident occurred in March 2021 in Florida. Officers pulled over a truck for having defective head, tail, and tag lights. The female officer approached the driver of the vehicle, a man named Robert, who didn't possess any documentation. Things took a different turn when the officer realized the truck hadn't been registered in a decade. The officer decided to issue a citation to the man while the truck was towed, but the driver refused.
Howdy.
How you doing?
Good, ma'am.
Good.
What seems to be the problem?
You have your license, your registration, insurance on
What
you?
seems to be the problem?
You got a headlight out, a tail light out, no tag light. I understand it's an old truck, but you got your license, your registration,
It
insurance?
might just be a switch or something, you know?
Okay, that's fine. Got your license, your registration, insurance?
No.
You don't?
No.
Oh, did you leave it? You don't have one? What's going on?
It's not my truck, ma'am.
Okay,
It's my driver's license, though.
okay. Is there a registration or a insurance card for the truck?
It's from Texas. This is my friend from Texas.
Okay, but that doesn't answer my question.
I don't have any paperwork, ma'am.
Why not?
He never
Whatever.
gave me.
Okay.
A female officer pulls over an old truck and approaches the driver. He manually lowers the window to speak to the officer, and she asks if he is in possession of any of the documents. The man asks what the problem is, and the officer informs him he doesn't have a functioning headlight, taillight, and tag light.
I'm not saying that you are. I'm just letting you know that I know it's not your truck, but when you're driving a vehicle, you're supposed to have all the paperwork to it. It's your responsibility to make sure you have that. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Okay?
That's common sense. Right.
It is.
I understand.
So, okay.
I'm not stupid. I understand.
The man, later identified as Robert, informs the officer that he doesn't have any documents or registration papers because the truck belongs to his friend. He handed over his driver's license, and the officer said a vehicle's paperwork must be in the vehicle. She returns to her vehicle to check and confirm the information on his driver's license.
Do me a favor, just step out here. I'm just gonna have a conversation with you, okay?
Am I under arrest?
No, you're not
I'm
under
not
arrest.
stepping out then. If
Okay.
I'm not under arrest, I don't need to step out of the vehicle. What do you want me stepping out of the vehicle for?
Well, because I'm gonna tow the car because it hasn't been registered in 10 years. So I'm trying to be civil with you and asking you to step out
We're going to tow the vehicle.
so I can talk to you, and then we
We're gonna
can
impound it to
try
make
to
money.
get you a ride. So I'm asking you to step out of the car.
They want me to step out of the vehicle so they can impound the vehicle. So they can make money.
Yeah.
You
Make
gotta
money
make
for
money.
what?
You're going to make money off of this.
This car has not been registered in 10 years, sir. You have no registration for it and no insurance card. So I'm going to ask you one more time to step out of the car.
The officer returns to the vehicle with her colleague and asks Robert to step out of the vehicle. Robert refuses to step out of the truck because he isn't under arrest. The officer states that the vehicle is going to be towed because it hasn't been registered in 10 years.
Go on, do your goddamn job you want to do.
Listen.
Do it.
As long as you
Do it. Leave me
as
alone.
long as you get the car
You're going to
registered,
do it
then
without
that's
me
it.
or not.
Okay.
Robert gets on a call with someone and informs the person that the officers want to impound the truck so they can make money from him. The officer tries to be civil about the situation, but Robert gets irritated. He yells at the officers as he hesitantly steps out of the truck and blames them for ruining his night. Robert continues yelling at the officers and makes rude comments.
Do you want to go to jail for obstruction?
Obstruction of what? You towing
Of
my
me?
truck away?
Yes.
I told
This
you,
is a
I
very
don't
simple
want to listen to
traffic
you because I don't
infraction.
trust you. I don't trust her. I don't trust him. I don't trust a
have to.
sergeant. When a sergeant gets here, a sergeant can tell me otherwise. Until then, I am not doing anything.
Okay. I'm asking you to step over to the sidewalk. When the sergeant gets here, they can explain to you what's going on.
Are you going
since
to
don't
tase
trust
me? Are you going to tase me now?
No, not unless you give me a reason to.
You going to kill me? You going to shoot me?
Nope.
What? You're going to keep pushing your demands on
Not
me?
unless you give me a reason to.
Your demands have been, get
You-
the out of the truck,
you haven't done
step to the
anything to
side,
me that
you're towing your car
makes
away.
me feel
Those
like
are your
I have to
demands.
tase you or shoot
They are
you.
not civil demands.
A tow truck eventually arrives to tow the truck, but Robert stands in its way. The officers ask if he wants to get arrested for obstruction of justice. Robert continues yelling, saying he doesn't trust any of the officers. He requests for the sergeant and refuses to cooperate until his arrival. They ask him to step over to the sidewalk, but Robert says they want to tase him.
Your car is unregistered.
That is not civil.
I don't know why you have to
Ma'am,
yell
I
at me.
can pull my truck right over there, but you won't let
It's
me.
an unregistered motor
No,
vehicle.
you won't
can't
let
show
me.
me any
You
proof.
won't let this guy tow my truck away and put it in a salvage yard.
Yes.
And I will have to pay him to get it out.
Yes.
Oh, well then we have a clear understanding about this. You're going
Okay.
to try to screw me out of money.
I'm glad that we do. I'm asking you to step on the sidewalk, please.
He insists that their demands aren't civil, and he isn't going to let them put his truck in a salvage yard. The officer tries to explain the situation to him time and time again, but he refuses to listen. She asks him to step away from the vehicle, but Robert interrupts her by saying no multiple times.
We got a woman here that pulled me over for me driving an old truck coming into town trying to spend money. Okay, I was in a good mood all the way up to this point. I've been harassed all my life by police officers. I am not going to take this crap.
Okay, have you been harassed by us?
I have not been arrested by your Charlotte Port or whatever you guys are. I'm just telling you straight up. I've had issues with you guys, and you guys aren't my friends.
An officer, who is apparently a supervisor, arrives on the scene and talks to Robert. Robert laments how he has been harassed by officers and won't tolerate any nonsense. He insists that they should have given him a warning and let him go. The supervisor informs him his request is impossible to grant because they're on a public roadway, and he has a criminal violation.
And I'm going to tell you right now, she's not nice. Because if she was nice, she would just give me a warning to let me go or let me pull my truck into private property. But instead, she insists on having a tow truck tow my truck. Listen, man, I am not happy with this. I live far away, and I'm not prepared to pay salvage money for towing. These guys are not cool. These guys suck to deal with. Have you ever had your car towed away?
He has a criminal violation because the truck hasn't been registered for a decade. The female officer informs him of the exact date on which it was last registered, and the supervisor insists that the vehicle get towed. Robert gets frustrated and suggests he pushes the truck off the road so it doesn't get towed away. He laments how he doesn't have any money for the tow truck and begins cursing at the officers.
You suck! You're not nice! You're not cordial! You don't give a about people like me! You don't give a about being in my own city! You're gonna screw me out of the money anyways!
Okay, well, we don't benefit from it.
You don't! This city, they benefit! This company gives them money! Oh, yeah, they pay taxes! And you know what? They're in a pool, a towing salvage pool, along with 20 other swinging like these rip-offs. These guys aren't honest people, by the way.
Okay.
Tow truck people are about the shadiest people I know.
Okay.
The supervisor asks the female officer if she is done preparing the citation, which they will issue to Robert. Robert yells as he walks around and says he's going to get fined for everything he does. The supervisor informs Robert he is allowed to remove his items from his truck, but is not allowed to push them. Robert refuses to hand over the keys to the tow truck drivers.
And harassment.
Harassment. For violation of Florida statute? Is a traffic stop?
Darnell, D-A-R-N-E-L-O.
Okay.
And asking me if I'm on drugs? That's harassment.
Do you have drugs in the vehicle?
She's asking me if I'm on drugs.
Typical procedural question.
Oh, really?
Correct.
She didn't ask me if I had drugs in the vehicle. She asked me if I was on drugs.
Okay.
That's stereotyping, and that's pulling me over to stereotyping. That's pulling me over to checking me in, and then you had my vehicle towed away.
They are forced to find another way to tow the truck, which could lead to unwanted damage. Robert says the officers are bringing in more hate because the female officer accused him of being on drugs. He then says they are stereotyping him because of his tattoos, and the supervisor points out that the female officer has more tattoos than he does. He asks Robert how someone with tattoos can stereotype someone else with tattoos.
Or they're gonna arrest me.
Put your hands behind your back.
Why are you arresting me?
Hands behind your back now.
Why? Why?
Put your hands behind your back now.
God, I'm not
You got one
resisting.
resisting.
I'm not resisting.
Put your hands behind your back now.
Robert proceeds to dial 911 when the officers are standing right in front of him and say they are violating his rights and harassing him. The officers have heard enough and decided to place Robert under arrest. They are forced to tackle him to prevent any form of resistance. Robert asks why he is under arrest, and the supervisor says they have tolerated his misbehavior for long enough. They take him to the patrol vehicle and pat him down before placing him inside. Robert was charged with 4 misdemeanors: misuse of 911, violation of financial responsibility for property damage, resisting an officer without violence, and refusal to accept and sign a citation. He was forced to pay $353 in fines after appearing in court. This incident occurred in May 2022 in Illinois. A police officer pulled over a vehicle for a taillight violation and approached the driver. The passengers appeared intoxicated, so the driver did what was right and performed a field sobriety test on the driver.
Hi, how you doing?
Was I speeding?
No, you weren't speeding. You don't have your back lights on.
They don't turn on. They're automatic. These
Okay.
are auto lights that come on. So that's what's on right now.
Okay.
It only
You don't have any way to turn them on?
my back lights.
Yeah, so like a lot
When
of
I
times.
brake.
No, like your tail lights just aren't on at all. So when you brake your lights will activate, but like when you're just driving on the road regularly.
These are just auto lights. I don't really
Yeah.
know how to fix that.
Okay. It sounds
That's-
if you twist it over, usually,
Then my brights are on.
yeah.
So
yeah.
and I don't
know how to fix
don't
it.
think I'm
Every
allowed
car's-
to have my brights on when I'm
every
on the
car's
main
different.
street.
Yeah, you're not. But there's got to be a way to have your back lights on
I don't know.
and say, "Can you go ahead and put the car in park
This is
for
a
me?"
rental car. This isn't even mine. If
Oh,
you
it's
looked at
not
my
yours?
plates already, this is a rental car.
Okay, that's fine. Do you have your license on you?
I have a state ID.
Okay. Can you put your car in park for me? Okay. And do you have your ID on you?
I have a state ID. Can you hit me in my purse?
The driver, a young lady named Jada Davis, was cooperative with the officers and performed the test. The situation suddenly escalated when she was placed under arrest. Jada attempted to escape by lying. She was urinating in the vehicle. She didn't make it far and was arrested again.
All right. So, JD, you said you had nothing to drink tonight, right?
No.
Okay. Would
None
you
of
mind
us-
just doing a few tests for me to see?
None of us. But you pulled me over for lights. Isn't that a warning?
No, it can be a ticket.
I've gotten pulled over for my lights not being on, and I've sworn every time that's a warning.
It's a violation, so you can write somebody a ticket for it. Like I said, I want to, like I said, I can smell the odor of alcoholic beverage coming from inside your guy's car.
But you pulled me over for lights.
Yes, that's still a valid reason to stop you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I thought that was just a warning because I've been pulled over for my lights before, and they've given me a warning for that because I looked it up and it said that that's not an actual
That's not.
I just looked it up on my phone.
Okay, what is it?
I can show you.
Okay.
They just said that that's not an actual.
I haven't been to police training. I don't know the IVC or anything.
Can I show you? It just told me that
show
that's
me
not.
what it is. It says you have to have 2 lights activated, 2 in the front and 2 in the back.
So my lights didn't come on in the back.
I
What do you
explained
mean
that
by?
to you. They weren't on.
What is that like? What do you mean by like?
Body cam footage shows an officer approaching a vehicle he stopped. He meets the driver, a young lady named Jada Davis, and she asks if she was speeding. The officer informs her that her backlight isn't turned on. Jada explained that the lights were automatic, and she couldn't physically turn them on by herself. She informs him that the vehicle doesn't belong to her as it is a rental car. The officer requested her driver's license, but she only had her state ID.
All right, so do me a favor. All right.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
I really have to go to the bathroom.
It's okay. All right. Can you just blow into this until it clicks? No, hang on. Just a nice steady breath, okay?
Okay.
All right, go ahead. All right, hang on. You gotta.
I'm sorry. I'm literally
It's
going
okay.
to the bathroom
It's okay.
right now.
But I can give you a second.
Can I just go pee? Really? You can come with me. You can literally come with me. I don't care, but I really have to go to the bathroom.
She realizes she doesn't have her state ID and asks the officer if he can just look up her name. The officer asks if anyone has been drinking because the car smells like alcohol. Jada and her passengers deny the allegation and say they only had chips. She informs the officer they were at a party, and he goes to confirm her details. He talks to his colleague about the situation and decides to perform a field sobriety test on the driver.
So, I don't think, basically I said everyone in this car has drank. I did not say to you that I have drank.
You literally just said that you drank.
I said everyone in this car because they wanted me to admit to you that they had drank because they thought that you were going to breathalyze all of us.
You just told me right over here that you drank at a party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I thought you were asking for everyone in the car.
And I'm noticing.
I don't know my rights if I'm being completely honest. I thought you were going to breathalyze all of us.
No, I'm going to breathalyze you right now because
Okay.
I'm noticing indicators of impairment, and I want to be sure that what I'm seeing from our tests are accurate.
Okay.
Okay? So what I'm trying to explain to you is...
The officer returned to the vehicle and asked Jada to step out of the vehicle. She eventually stepped out of the vehicle, and the officer led her out of the roadway. He asks if she has any issues with her vision, and she says she is on antidepressant medicine.
You're under the age of 21, so you can't drink and drive at all.
They begin the first test, and the officer asks Jada to follow the top of his pen with only her eyes. The next test is the walking test, and the officer instructs her not to begin until he tells her to. He tells her to take 9 steps to and fro, and Jada completes it. She performs the third test, the one-leg stand, but drops her foot halfway through.
So what did you say it was? Sorry.
103?
103? Can I look at it?
103. It's gone now. I just showed it
Can
to
I
you a
blow
second
again?
ago.
Sorry,
You're going
I
to
didn't
get the
see it.
opportunity to blow again when we get back to the police department. Okay?
Jada is under the age of 21, and the officer informs her she will have to get absolute zeros in a breathalyzer test. The officer noticed signs of impairment and wanted to confirm his suspicion using the test. Jada says she is nervous and wants to use the restroom. There aren't any open restrooms in the area, so the female officer on ground asks her to be patient.
Can I do it right now really quick? I didn't see it.
I just showed it to you.
I didn't look
And
at
I
it.
told you
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm sorry I didn't see it because
No, we're gonna go back to the police department, and then.
Am I allowed to do it one more time?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Can I do it
that
right
again.
here, please? I'd like to see it because I didn't see it.
You're gonna be able to see a printed out version.
I want
when
to
we
see
get
it
back
right
to the police
now if
department.
that's okay.
No,
Am
it's
I
not.
allowed to?
No.
I'm
We've
asking
already-
her.
I literally-
Is that okay?
She's not in charge. She's the backup
You're not in
officer.
charge.
This is traffic stop.
So
But you-
blew a 103.
You
go.
saw it?
Yeah,
Let's
I
go.
didn't see it.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't know if I was allowed to look at it.
Jada begins crying as she apologizes, and the officer puts the breathalyzer in her mouth. The officer asks his colleague to escort her to any available bathrooms so she doesn't urinate on herself. They returned shortly after, and Jada properly performed the breathalyzer test.
Is it possible you can come pee with me again?
What's that?
I don't need a female officer to watch me. I don't want to pee my pants again. Will you come with me outside? You can follow me.
We're literally going to the police department. It's like a mile away.
I'm peeing on your seat.
Right now?
Yes.
The test results are displayed on the screen, and they are at 0.103, which is over the legal limit for Jada. The officer places her under arrest and appreciates her cooperation with the situation. Jada suddenly asks to see the results from the breathalyzer again, but the officer says the screen has gone blank.
Hang on, don't get out. Don't get out. There's a car coming. She's peeing again. Stop! No! Get out of the car! Get out of the car!
Stop!
Hey, 6, we got one taking off on us. She's trying to drive away.
He informs her they will perform another test when they return to the police department, but she gets irritated. They place Jada in the patrol vehicle, and she requested all her items from the rental car. She informs them that her personal vehicle is at a shop. The officer gets in the vehicle and prepares to begin driving.
Was it worth it? I hope so.
Jada suddenly asks if the officer can accompany her to urinate again. She says she is urinating on his seat, and he rushes to let her out. Jada uses the opportunity and attempts to escape. She runs back to her vehicle, but the officer reaches and tries to open the door. Jada refuses to step out of the car, and the officers threaten to tase her.
Can I have my hat?
No.
I'm not allowed to have my hat?
No.
Why? Can I ask why?
We're done trying to be nice to you.
But I'm asking
Especially
why.
after...
They eventually drag her out and place her on the floor. The female officer asks Jada if she is all right, and she complains because they slammed her on her chest. She asks for an ambulance and asks if she can have her hat.
But I'm asking why I can't have a hat.
Because I said so.
It's right there.
I tried to be nice to you and let you go to the bathroom and you
My hat?
No.
Why? What does a hat have to do with anything?
I put it back in your car.
It's right there. Oh, you just grabbed it?
I put it back in the car.
But that's going to the rental company. You realize that?
No, it's going.
It's going to
It's getting towed.
It's getting towed.
You're towing my car?
Yes.
You can't take it back to the dealership?
No.
Why?
The officer refuses and says they are done being nice to her. The other officers take photos of the arresting officer because he has apparently been injured. They inform Jada that the car would be towed because she was under arrest for driving under the influence. Jada continues complaining as she says her arms are numb. She says her head hurts because it hit the floor and asks for a concussion test. Jada claims to be a good citizen, but the officer reminds her that she bit him. The ambulance arrives, and the officer instructs Jada not to attempt escape, or else she will be tackled. They decide to take her to a hospital, but under police supervision.
Get back, man! Get back!
What?
Get back!
Look what they doing to her, yo.
She's not listening. Get back!
So what? I'm not listening. What
Hey, back!
the I'm doing? I'm not listening.
Bro.
Fuck the police. Y'all niggas crazy. Y'all gonna do that to a female.
Tell these men get off my sister. Tell these men get off my sister.
She made her decision. Stay back.
Yes.
I'm not. Oh my God.
These men get off my sister.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not. Stay over there. Stay over there. All right. All right. Back up. 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 Back
Yo,
up.
you don't need that many
Back
cops.
up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Why is it not a female officer?
Back up.
Listen.
Guys, back up. Back up.
The incident in this video occurred in Hartford in September 2022. Officers surround a vehicle that is listed as stolen. The woman in the vehicle immediately escalates the situation by yelling at the officers. They attempted to calm her by saying they just wanted to confirm the vehicle's owner.
You lying, because I never been to New Britain. I never been to no New Britain. You lying. I want your badge number. You're going down. I got that on camera. You're going down. You lying.
The woman, who will be referred to as the suspect, wasn't interested in their explanation and began creating a scene. The officers were forced to de-escalate the situation by using force to place her under arrest.
Ma'am. Ma'am.
Can I have
Ma'am, I need you to step over here. Come here. Come here. Come here. I want to show you. I want to show you something. I'm trying to show you. Listen. See your car right here, ma'am? See it's on red. You see AW8.
There's no possible way you just did that in the system.
No.
There's no possible way. My car has
She's
never,
literally
ever,
not gonna know.
Stolen. Ever.
Well, listen. We're trying to tell you. We're trying to tell you.
Leave me alone.
Body cam footage shows officers questioning a woman about her vehicle, and she yells at them. She calls them liars and says she has never been to the area they mentioned. The car is listed as a stolen vehicle, but the suspect is furious. She asks the officers for their badge numbers and says they are going down. The officers attempt to calm her, but she continues yelling.
Listen, we're trying to show you why we stopped.
System, you make up the numbers?
No, listen.
Where'd you get the numbers from?
All right, I'm done.
Some civilians begin to gather as they see the commotion that's occurring. An officer produces the stolen vehicle list and asks his colleague if they can show it to her. He walks to the woman to show her the list, hoping it will calm her for the time being. The suspect says she doesn't have to talk to them because she isn't under arrest. The officer shows her the license plate number on the list, but she says there is no possible way for the car to be stolen when it's registered under her name.
Her car's in the system is stolen.
I don't care. You see it's me. You see I'm the owner. What are we doing? What
We
are
have
we
to
doing?
run it. We have to run it. We have to do a protocol.
What are you doing? No, I don't want to talk to you.
Stand over
I'll
there.
just leave.
No, you can't leave.
The suspect continues yelling, and the officer says they are trying to show her why she was pulled over. He eventually gets frustrated and walks back to his colleagues. Another officer states that they're confirming if she is the owner of the vehicle so they can take it off the stolen vehicles list. The suspect doesn't listen to them and asks for her registration and insurance.
It's my car. I can absolutely.
Ma'am.
Like, do you have the keys?
Ma'am, get out of the car. What are you doing?
The officer asks her to relax, but she says she is tired of them. She begins cursing them and says she hopes they end up in hell. One of the officers states he loves Jesus, so that's not happening. The others instruct him not to take her comments seriously. She suddenly says she will just leave because it's her car, and the officers say she can't leave.
Stay over there. 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 I'm not going to tell you again. Stay over there. Get out of the car.
It's my car and it's not stolen.
Listen, watch out.
It's my car.
Let it out of the car.
It's my car.
Yo, what are you doing?
It's my car.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
And it's not stolen.
Get out of the car. Stay over there. I'm not. Stay over there. Stay over there. Get back. Get back. Get back.
No. My daughter's in here. Leave me the alone.
Stay over there.
Leave me alone. Sister, leave me alone.
I'm not going to tell you again. Stay right there. Step out.
Leave my sister alone.
The suspect gets into the car and attempts to leave, but the officers rush to her. They open the door, but the woman continues screaming at them. A bystander suddenly walks to defend the woman, but the officers instruct him to step away. The woman claims that her daughter is in the vehicle.
Back up. Back up.
Yo, you don't need that many.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Why is there not a female officer?
Back up.
No, call your supervisor. Where's he at? Go get him. Go get him. No, talk to him first.
Another woman, claiming to be the woman's sister, arrives and asks her to put the car on park. The officers are forced to drag the woman out of the car and place her on the ground. Several bystanders arrive as the incident escalates. The officers remain on the woman as she screams for help. She says she can't breathe but can.
Ma'am,
Let me talk to him first.
Just...
Supervisor! 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 I can't breathe. Can you call the ambulance? Can you call 911 for me, please? I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm not getting close to moving in my car. I can't breathe.
The officer goes around and prevents the bystanders from encroaching on the scene. They ask why there aren't any female officers. The officer says they are allowed to record but shouldn't get close. A man asks the suspect to remain calm and still as they place her under arrest. The officers eventually take the woman to the patrol vehicle as she screams. She says they should let her go. The officer asks the woman's sister to check on the child in the car.
I have to go in the ambulance. I need an ambulance. She's saying
The woman suddenly says the suspect isn't her sister, and the child in the car isn't her problem. The suspect screams while asking for a supervisor and continues saying she can't breathe. The police department later released a report saying the vehicle was involved in a shots-fired incident in a neighboring community. The woman was charged with interfering with police and reckless endangerment.
You won't.
I will.
I'm telling you not to go on her property, okay? Grab her.
You cannot. I'm on public property.
Stop.
I'm on public property.
Put your hand on your back.
Stop.
I'm on public property.
Stop. Stop.
I'm on public property.
Just stop. Stop.
I'm on public property.
Stop.
This incident occurred in May 2023 in Corrales. Officers arrived at a disagreement between an ex-cop and mayoral candidate named Chanda Vigil and her neighbors. Vigil yelled at and threatened the kids in the neighborhood, and it was reported she was under the influence of alcohol. The officers found Vigil standing on the street and complaining about the situation.
Hey, how's it going?
My mom's gonna come out in a little bit, but it's about these neighbors right here.
So how about in here?
Well, no, I mean, let's go outside because they need to know that they're...
We're gonna go talk to them either way.
Okay, well...
So it doesn't matter if we talk outside or in here, we're gonna go talk to them either way.
Okay, so I was in back, making a shed for Mother's Day.
She calls her neighbor a Karen for not allowing her to video her child, who is disabled. The officers instruct her not to go to the neighbors again, but Vigil refuses. They are forced to arrest her for her actions, and she begins screaming.
Can I get your guys' information real quick? You guys driver's license on you guys?
I have to get my first.
Yeah.
Thank
you want to go get it real quick?
Where's the parents of
them? Were you guys here when everything occurred?
We didn't see anything. He just
okay.
Officers arrive at a house and are met by a young boy. His mother welcomes the officers into the house. A man who is apparently the father of the children informs the officers that their neighbor, an ex-cop named Chanda Vigil, was making hateful comments and threats at the kids. Vigil threatened to shoot the children, causing the man to call the police.
What's going on? Well, we got called here. Something about them saying you made threats to their kids.
He calls Vigil an unstable ex-police officer and says he must take heed and call the authorities when she makes such comments at his children. A member of the family informed the officers that Vigil threatened to kill their dog if it got on their property. Vigil has also complained about the kids playing on the street, but it shouldn't be a problem because the street is public property.
So, sure, you've seen it before if you're a cop, right?
No, I create Karen.
Yeah.
So, they're kids, and 2 neighbors over. We deal with them all the time.
Okay.
They want to cuss, they want to whatever. I don't care.
Okay.
Don't be a Karen in my block.
So what?
So we're on our side of the block, and she hates our wall. And I'll let you see our wall. Our wall is beautiful. And they finally come home, which I guess.
The officers leave the house and walk to the street where they meet Chanda Vigil. They inform her of the complaint that she is making threats to kids and ask what is going on. Vigil complains about her neighbor, saying she wanted to video a kid, but the neighbor refused. The child in question is mentally disabled, so his mother has the right to refuse Vigil's attempt to make videos of him.
It doesn't matter what my husband says. Listen to me.
Well, the problem that I'm having right now is I can smell liquor coming from your breath.
Okay, that's fine.
That's what I'm having. That's why I want to talk.
Fine.
I want to talk to your husband too, because it sounds like he was there for the issue too, right?
That's fine. It's an ongoing issue.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is I don't want it to be an ongoing issue anymore.
That property, the one across the street. Go talk to them.
Vigil calls the woman a Karen and says they were making fun of her eyebrows when they returned. The officer is somewhat confused because her sentences aren't organized properly. The officers ask her about the threat to the neighbor's dog. Vigil claims that the dog is aggressive and disturbs everyone in the neighborhood. She claims to have made the threat as a way to protect her kids and for the neighbors to keep their dogs in check.
So how do we resolve this then? You don't want their kids. You don't want their kids being alone.
Have Sarah come out here and have us talk face to face.
I'm not gonna have her come and have a confrontation with you.
It's a neighbor issue.
Yeah, I know, but at the end of the day, what did you do with neighbor issues when you used to work for APD?
We need to deal with each other. Sarah is a Karen.
Okay.
Talk to my face.
So then,
tell me your
how do you think it's gonna? How do you think that's gonna resolve anything?
Issue. Mind your business. Have your kids mind your business. Don't have your kids cussing and screaming up my street and doing sidewalk bombs up my street And nobody's perfect.
The officer notices that Vigil is repeating her statement over and over again. He can smell alcohol coming from her and requests to talk to her husband since it's an ongoing issue. Vigil says she wants the neighbors and their kids to mind their business without disturbing them.
I'm not going to have her
go
come
tell
talk to you.
Sarah.
I'm not going to have her come
well,
talk to you.
I'm going to go knock on her door.
You're not going to go knock on her door.
I will.
No, you're not.
Yes, I will.
You won't.
I will.
I'm telling you not to go on her property, okay?
The officer suggests that they instruct both parties not to make contact with each other again, and Vigil agrees. Vigil says she is going to cut down her neighbor's trees because they are on her wall, and it's a civil issue. She asks the officers to contact her neighbors so they can talk about their issues.
You cannot. I'm on public property.
Stop.
I'm on public property.
Stop.
Put your hands on your back.
Stop.
I'm on public property.
Stop. Stop.
I'm on public property.
Just stop. Stop. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now?
Dude.
Are you serious?
I'm on Brian! Brian! Brian!
Vigil informs the officers that she had a drone up the previous day, and it was taking images of her house. Her neighbors complained about it, saying they didn't want her taking photos of their house. The officer says they can't resolve the issue in one day, but Vigil instructs them to call her neighbors out. Vigil says she is tired of her neighbors and will go and knock on their door. The officers say she isn't allowed to, but she refuses and walks towards their house.
What are you doing?
Dude!
Stop.
Let me
You're out into the road.
That's
We're not going to let you go out on the road to get hit by a car.
I was in the road.
10-4, use the force.
Use the force. Yes, 10-4,
Yes, 10-4.
use the force. Use the force.
They are forced to arrest her for disobeying them and threatening to encroach on private property. They place handcuffs on her as they say she is intoxicated. Vigil yells for someone and instructs the person to call her parents. They try to move her out of the road, but she resists them and tries to remain on the floor. They attempt to put her in the patrol vehicle, but she refuses to get inside. Vigil was eventually charged with resisting arrest and battery on a police officer.
Get out of here.
Why are you questioning this guy?
Get out of here.
What is he doing to you? That is bothering you. What the is it that he is doing to you that is bothering you, sir?
Do you know him?
I do know him.
Okay, well then you need to leave.
I don't care. Why are you bothering this gentleman?
You're going to be arrested.
I don't care.
Okay, turn around. Then leave.
The incident in this video occurred in September 2019 in Albuquerque. An officer stopped a man for going above the speeding limit and speeding past a traffic light. The man cooperated with the officer and seemed remorseful for his actions.
Why are you driving so fast and running red lights? I didn't mean to, sorry. You didn't mean to? Okay, well you're going 53 miles an hour, speed limit is not 50, and you ran her through that red light at First and Central. Sorry about that. How much you been drinking tonight? Not a lot. Not a lot? Do you have a driver's license on you? Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Alright. Where are you guys coming from? We're coming from. Just pick me up. Alright. Mr. Martinez. Alright, why don't you step out of the vehicle with me, okay? Okay. Let's go to the back of your vehicle right here, okay? Just stay in the vehicle for me, okay, man? Stop right there. See if I pat you down for us real quick. Okay, do you have any knives, guns, needles, or anything on you? Hands behind your back. Stand right here where my light's at. See where my light's at right there? Just stand right there. Let me turn my lights off real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, come over this way. Why don't you stand right here, okay?
While performing a field sobriety test, a strange woman suddenly appears and begins yelling at the officer. The officer asks her to leave, but she says he is harassing the driver. She calls him the country's problem and moves away while yelling.
Stand right there and face me, okay? Do you have any medical conditions that keep you from walking, standing, bouncing? Yes. What do you have? Okay, so am I?
Yes, like I have like multiple shit.
Like what? Explain to me, because I need to know.
Like I'm.
What do you mean, by alcohol?
Yes.
Okay, so you tell me you're drunk?
Not drunk, but like I've had a drink.
Okay. Alright, well I want to do fields with you. I need to know what kind of medical conditions you have. So are you taking medication for anything?
Yes, everything.
What do you take
Like
medicine
I have heart medications.
Okay.
I have palpitations.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't be drinking that. It can affect your heart if you're drinking alcohol without medication. It's dangerous. Anything else? Okay. Do me a favor, take your glasses off and just put them on top of your head.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Are you currently taking medication right now?
Yes.
What are you taking?
I have riveting.
Okay. And that's for your heart condition?
Yes.
And that's the only thing? Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to put your feet together like mine. See how my toes are touching, heels are touching? Go ahead and do that now.
Body cam footage shows an officer approaching a vehicle and asking the driver why he was speeding. The driver apologized, and the officer confirmed that the driver had been drinking. He asks the driver to step out of the vehicle. He pats the driver down to ensure he isn't in possession of any dangerous or illegal items.
There you
hands down to your side, okay? Down to your side. What I want you to do is I want you to look at the tip of my pin here, okay? I want you to follow this with your eyes only, and do not move your head. Do you understand that? All right. Keep your head still, okay? Yes.
The officer returns to his vehicle to turn his headlights off. He returns to the driver and says they will perform a field sobriety test to see how intoxicated he is. The driver informs the officer that he has a heart condition and takes medicine for it. The officer points out that taking alcohol is bad for him and can worsen his condition.
What's that? Good? You can walk. Get out of here.
Why are you questioning this guy?
Get out of here.
What is he doing to you that is bothering you? What is it that he is doing to you that is bothering you, sir?
Do you know him?
I do know him.
Okay, well then you need to leave.
I don't care.
Okay.
Why are you bothering this gentleman?
You're going to be arrested.
I don't care.
Okay, turn around. Then leave. Get out of here. Okay, this is your last chance to leave and get out of here now.
You do not save this country. You do not save.
Then go do it.
This.
You don't know who she is? Okay. Let's do this again, okay? Go ahead and stand right there. Face me again. Put your feet together, hands down to your side, okay? Alright, go ahead and take your glasses off. Alright, hands out of your side, same thing, okay? Just keep your head still, follow the pin, okay?
The officer instructs the driver on how to stand as they are about to perform the test. A strange woman suddenly arrives and stands beside the driver. She asks the officer why he is bothering the man, and the officer asks her to leave. The officer threatens to arrest the woman if she doesn't leave the area, but she says she doesn't care.
Little piggy to the rescue, right? Little piggy to the rescue, right? Yeah, exactly, you stupid pig!
He prepares to arrest her, but she turns around and walks away while screaming. The officer follows her while she insults him and calls him a pig. The officer decides to ignore her and returns to the driver while another patrol vehicle arrives. The second officer goes to the angry woman to confront her. Meanwhile, the officer performs the field sobriety test on the driver.
Turn over! Turn over!
Turn me into that's all you guys are ever gonna be is a take down a woman, have them get the off a woman! What the that's all they're ever gonna be is little that's all you're ever gonna be is little
stop!
I don't give a on you, stupid. I ain't got no weapon on me, stupid gun. Stupid pigs, that's all you're ever gonna amount to. That's why you are pigs. No wonder why nobody likes you. You wonder why. Not even
The officer suddenly sees that his colleague is struggling to arrest the woman. He rushes to his aid and helps his partner hold her down. The woman insults them while they struggle to hold her down. Her insults continue as they place her in handcuffs. They stand her up, take her to a patrol vehicle, and pat her down to see if she is in possession of any dangerous or illegal items. The angry woman screams at them and says no one likes them. They place her in a patrol vehicle, and the officer explains the situation to the others. Further investigation showed that the woman is named Jasmine Romero. She faced assault and battery charges and was released while pending her court date. Well, that's all we've got for you today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more interesting updates. See you in the next video.